What made me want to start a magazine? My obsession with media, marketing, and business. When I was a kid, we're talking 7 or 8 years old, magazines were extremely popular. Every time I went inside of a store, my mom had to buy me a magazine. I spent my weekends looking through magazines, tearing out posters, putting these posters up on my wall in the back of my door, the only little corner in my room that my mom would allow me to hang things up. We're talking about all the magazines you can think of, from Word Up to Write On to Source Magazine. And as I got older and I started to get into health and wellness in my teens, I went right back to my number one source of information, from Fitness Magazine to Women's Health Magazine. And when Oprah came out with her magazine, I was like, okay, that's it. It's a wrap. I must have my own magazine as well. Now, what I didn't know is that this would snowball into wanting to have my own entire media empire. Fast forward from that, having no clue how I'm going to get this started, how I'm going to start a magazine, I thought that I needed to start in a different place in order to get to this place. So where I started was coaching. I started as a life coach, not really knowing what I should do in life, where I should go. People would always come up to me and say things like, you have an old soul. Maybe you should be a therapist. Maybe you should be a psychologist. But none of those felt right. They didn't land properly in my spirit. And then one day I came across something on this brand new site called YouTube. It was a bunch of coaches, and I found life coaching. And immediately upon seeing the words, I thought to myself, that's me. That's what I want to do with my life. That feels like home to my soul. And the person that modeled everything that I wanted to do, from interviewing people to having their own TV show to a magazine, was Oprah. She was doing it the way I would want to do it, with all of my gifts, my skill sets, writing books, everything. So fast forward after that, when my dad passed away, and I thought my dad, I still believe this to this day, came to visit me in the form of a lizard on my back porch right after he died. I remember getting a feeling, a sensation from this creatures that I don't even like, by the way. I don't even like lizards. And just thinking to myself, wow, that's my dad. And my dad believed in me. What am I waiting on? And so then one day I started to think about it. I'm good at marketing. I know how to write. I know how to design. I literally know everything that I need to do in order to get this magazine started, and just start with one issue. So that's what I did. I borrowed belief from my dad, and him believing that I could do anything. He was my biggest fan. He would show up in places and spaces that I didn't even know he was in the room, and then go back and tell my family about it. And I said, if he believed in me that much, if I even had just half of his belief, I bet you I could make it to Oprah status. So that's what I did. I started my first magazine, and wow, that's really emotional. So that's what I did. I started my first magazine off of the belief of my dad that I could do anything. And that's what I'm doing here today. Living out my Oprah-sized dreams, bringing you inspiration at every chance that I get, because I believe that women are awesome, men are too, but my heart has been curated to help women stop from shrinking back, believe in who they are, and take this thing called life and business by the horns and share your gifts with the world, because that's how we're all going to feel just a little bit better every single day. But that's how we're all going to feel well.
That was so good.